At exactly 2:47 a.m., the deep-sea research vessel Nautilus X floated quietly above the Mariana Trench, the deepest known part of Earth's oceans. The crew had spent weeks mapping the seabed, hoping to discover something new, maybe a strange fish, or a new volcano, but no one expected this. Commander Hale. Emily, the young sonar technician, shouted from her station. "I'm picking up something ... weird." Commander Jonathan Hale walked over, still sipping his cold coffee. "Weird how?" "It's a pattern," Emily said, eyes locked on the screen. "Not like waves or rocks, it's repeating ... Like a heartbeat." Hale squinted at the sonar feed. The signal pulsed slowly dash, dump ... ba dash dump ... at 12,000 feet below sea level. That didn't make sense. "There's nothing alive that deep," Hale muttered. "Send the probe." 3 minutes later, a deep-sea drone slipped into the dark water. Its camera turned on, sending live feed to the main screen. Nothing at first, then ... something, a strange, circular structure appeared in the blackness. It was half buried in the ocean floor, covered in marine growth and glowing softly. Lights blinked in perfect rhythm with the sonar pulse. Emily leaned in. "That's not rock. That's not natural." The crew stared silently. "What is that thing?" whispered Dr. Hahn, the marine biologist. The structure was at least 500 feet wide. The metal looked too smooth, too advanced. Around the edges, carvings glowed faintly, symbols they didn't recognize. "It looks like..." Hale began, but couldn't finish. The word was too impossible to say. "Alien." The sonar pulsing stopped. Everyone froze. For 10 seconds, there was nothing. Then the pulse began again, but this time it was faster, urgent, like a message. It changed. Emily said, voice shaking. "It's like it's trying to speak." "Get the linguist on the line," Hale ordered. But before they could call anyone, the drone camera flickered. The screen turned white for a second, then showed something new. A panel on the alien structure had opened. Inside, darkness and mist. And movement. Back on the bridge, Hale looked around at his team. "Suit up," he said. "We're going down." The team wore deep-sea suits and entered the submersible pod. The descent took nearly 2 hours. Outside, the thick glass, pitch black. Water surrounded them. Strange creatures darted by, glowing softly like ghosts. Finally, the alien structure appeared in front of them. It was even larger up close. Like a sleeping giant. They guided the pod toward the open panel. "It looked like a door." "Pressure is stable," said Dr. Hahn. "We can walk in." "No one goes alone," Hale warned. Inside the structure, the walls were metallic but soft too. The touch, almost like skin. The floor glowed faintly under their boots. Mist floated in the air, making it hard to see. Suddenly, a whisper echoed through the chamber, not from the air, but inside their minds. "Do you hear that?" Emily whispered. "It's talking to me." Hale stopped walking. "It's in your mind?" "Yes," it said. "Don't be afraid." The team moved deeper, lights scanning every corner. Strange tubes ran along the walls. Symbols blinked like breathing lights. Then, something moved in the mist. Everyone froze. A figure stepped forward, thin, tall, and weak. It stumbled and fell to the ground. "Is that alive?" Dr. Hahn asked. Emily rushed forward without thinking. "It's a girl," she gasped. The being looked humanoid, but her skin was pale blue. Her eyes shut tight, her body thin and fragile. Suddenly, all the lights in the chamber blinked 3 times. The alien girl opened her eyes slowly, and for a split second, they locked onto Emily's. Then she collapsed. Back on the ship, the crew laid her carefully inside the medical chamber. "She's breathing," said Dr. Hahn. "She's alive." "But for how long?" Hale asked. "And why now? Why here?" Emily looked at the unconscious girl. There was something sad in her face. Something lonely. Then, on the screen, Words appeared automatically. Not in English, but quickly translating. Help. Me, please. Asterisk, the alien girl was still unconscious. Her pale blue skin shimmered faintly under the ship's medical lights. Tubes ran from her thin arms to the monitors. Her breathing was shallow, but steady. Emily sat beside her, watching silently. She hasn't moved in 12 hours, said Dr. Hahn, checking the readings. But she's healing. Fast. Faster than anything we've seen. Commander Hawley stood near the viewing window, staring into the endless sea below. We need answers. And we're not getting them up here. He turned sharply. We're going back down. I want to know what's inside that structure. An hour later, the Nautilus X's submersible descended once more into the darkness. This time, the crew was smaller, just Hawley, Emily, and Dr. Hahn. The rest stayed on the surface, monitoring every move. The alien structure loomed in front of them, like a sleeping beast dot as they approached the open panel, the door. It glowed brighter. This wasn't like this before. Dr. Hahn said. Emily narrowed her eyes. It's responding to us. They stepped inside again. The interior was slightly warmer. The mist was gone. Lights blinked along the walls faster now, guiding them. It feels like we're being watched, Holly muttered. They walked deeper. This time, they reached a massive circular chamber. In the center stood a large, sealed door with alien markings all around it. This must be it, Emily whispered. The real entrance, the sleeping door. Dr. Hahn examined the markings. These aren't decorations, they're controls. He pressed one. The room hummed. The sealed door began to breathe in and out like it was alive. Then, it slowly opened. Inside was darkness, not empty darkness, but a kind of moving shadow. Something old. Something waiting. As they stepped forward, the air grew thick, heavy, like memories were hanging in it. Suddenly, a light blinked on the far wall. Then another, and another. Rows and rows of pods lit up, each one containing a figure. Inside, dozens of them. Frozen, sleeping, just like the girl they found. They're her kind, Emily said, stunned. They're still here, waiting. Holly stepped closer to one pod. The being inside had no eyes. Its skin was like glass. Its chest rose and fell slowly. They've been here for a long time, Dr. Hahn said. Centuries maybe. Why? The walls lit up again, this time showing moving images. Not human. Alien. History. One scene showed a great war in space. Ships burning. Planets breaking. Then, a small vessel. This vessel crash landing into Earth's ocean. Another showed the sleeping girl, still a child, being placed gently into a pod. And finally, a warning. A dark shape rising in space. Bigger than anything they'd ever seen. A hunter. A destroyer. Something worse than war. Emily stared in horror. They weren't coming to invade. They were running. The air shifted. Suddenly, the mist returned, but this time, it wasn't just vapor. It spoke. Inside their minds, a calm but ancient voice whispered, "One of us woke too early." Emily stumbled back. That's her. She wasn't supposed to wake up yet. Hale's jaw tightened. But now that she has, this place is waking up too. The pods began to flicker. Some glowed. Some cracked. A low rumble echoed from below. Dr. Hahn checked his scanner. There's a pulse energy building. If we don't leave now, we may never make it back. They turned to run, but the entrance was no longer visible. The walls shifted. The path behind them was gone. The ship's communication crackled in Emily's earpiece. It was the girl, weak but clear. "You opened the door, didn't you?" Emily froze. "Yes, we saw them. We saw everything." The girl's voice was filled with sadness. "Then it's too late." A new light flashed at the end of the chamber, bright red. A countdown. Alien letters blinked fast, translating in real time on their wrist displays. Defense system awakening. Foreign life detected. Holly looked around. It thinks we're the enemy. Suddenly, the walls began to shift again, panels opening, revealing long mechanical arms with glowing ends. They're weapons, Dr. Han shouted. We triggered the ship's defense mode. Emily held up her hand. No, wait. She stepped into the light. It's me. I helped her. I protected her. The countdown paused for a moment. Silence. Then the arms retracted. The red light faded, and the sleeping pods? They all glowed green. One word flashed on their displays. Accepted. The alien girl woke up with a sudden gasp. Her silver eyes flickered open, glowing faintly in the ship's medical bay. Monitors beeped in confusion. Her vitals weren't human, but they were stabilizing fast. Emily was the first to reach her side. Hey. It's okay. You're safe now, she said softly, hands raised to show peace. The girl looked around, confused and scared. Her breathing was shallow. Her fingers clutched the blanket like she'd never felt fabric before. Can you understand? M.E.? Emily asked. The girl blinked slowly, then nodded. Dr. Han entered with a tablet. Vitals are strange, but stable. She's recovering fast, like her body's fixing itself. Commander Hale stepped into the room. His voice was calm, but firm. We need answers. Who is she? Why was she in that structure? And what else is still down there? Emily knelt beside the girl again. Do you have a name? The girl hesitated, then placed a hand on her own chest. Aris, she said, voice soft and distant. I am Aris. The pronunciation was delicate, almost like music. Hours passed. Aris sat up in bed, wrapped in a soft thermal blanket, sipping water. She studied everything like it. Was the first time she'd seen the world lights, metal, even Emily's face. Was not meant to wake alone, she said slowly. You opened the chamber. Emily nodded. Yes, we didn't know. We thought you were in danger. I was, Aris replied. But not from you. She touched her forehead as if remembering something painful. We were hiding. Hale pulled up a chair. Hiding from what? Iris looked down. Her voice dropped to a whisper. A devourer. The room went silent. She explained, slowly, using words that didn't always match, but her meaning was clear. Her people had been fleeing something ancient. Something that didn't just destroy life, but erased it. Erased entire histories. Entire species. Like they were never born. Our vessel was damaged. We crashed in your ocean. We went to sleep, hoping it would never find us here. Emily looked shocked. But now it knows, doesn't it? Aris nodded. The signal woke more than just me. Suddenly, alarms on the ship blared. Hale jumped to his feet. What now? An officer's voice crackled over the comms. Sir, we're detecting a pulse, something rising from the ocean floor near the alien structure. Hale turned to Aris. Is it your people? Aris closed her eyes, reaching out with her mind. Then her eyes snapped open, panicked. No, she whispered. It's not ours. They rushed to the main deck. On the monitors, a dark shape emerged from the deep, a massive, angular object. Not like the smooth design of Aris's ship. This was sharp, cold, predatory. It's not moving toward us, said the officer. It's just watching. Emily stared at the screen. That's not curiosity, that's hunting behavior. Aris stepped forward, her skin shimmering faintly under the ship lights. It followed the signal, she said. It remembers us. Hale clenched his jaw. And now it knows we're here too. That night, Emily stayed with Aris in the med bay. The girl sat silently, looking at the stars through the window. Her silver eyes reflected the darkness of space like she missed a home too far to reach. Emily broke the silence. Why do you speak our language? Aris smiled faintly. I listened while I slept. Your world is loud. Your thoughts are different from ours. But kind. Emily nodded. Most of us are, yeah, some aren't. Aris turned toward her. I was afraid when I woke, but I saw you. And I felt safe. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. Then the ship shook gently, like something had brushed against it. "Bridge, report." Hale's voice shouted over comms. "Something just passed below us. We're surrounded. 3 unknown vessels." Ares stood quickly, eyes glowing. "They're scouts, not here to talk. They're here to test." Emily grabbed her suit. "We need to go back down, don't we?" Ares nodded. "The structure has defenses, but only if someone controls them." Holly stepped in. "Are you saying that's you?" Ares looked at him, firm, calm. "I was born to be." The control room was quiet, too quiet. Everyone stood frozen, eyes locked on the radar screen. 3 large, unidentified objects hovered below the Nautilus X, near the alien ruins. They weren't broadcasting any signal. No attempt at communication. Just silence, like predators circling before a kill. Emily gripped the console edge. "Are we sure they're not part of Ares's people?" Ares stood in the corner, calm but tense. Her silver eyes watched the screen, unblinking. "They are not mine," she said softly. "They do not build. They do not dream. They only consume." Commander Halle turned toward her. "Who are they?" Ares paused, then answered with just 2 words. "The Hollow." No one spoke. The name echoed in the room like a curse. "They were once like us," Ares continued, "long ago, until they tore out what made them alive. Now they are only emptiness machines wearing skin." She closed her eyes. "They travel the stars and erase civilizations. They do not hate. They do not fear. They only hunger." Dr. Hahn stepped forward, stunned. "Then what do they want here?" "Earth has nothing advanced. No space tech, no threats." Ares looked at him, voice sharp. "That's why they'll come. They strike before a species can rise, before it can resist, before it becomes a challenge." Emily's heart dropped. "We just made ourselves visible." Ares nodded. "The moment you entered my ship, the moment I woke, Earth became a target." The ship shook again. Not from impact, but from below. The alien ruins were reacting. Hale's cum buzzed. "Commander, something's happening at the ocean floor. The structure, it's lighting up again." Ares turned toward the screen. "It's responding to me." Within minutes, the crew launched a submersible pod back into the deep. This time with Emily, Ares, and Commander Halle on board. As they descended, the water darkened. The hollow vessels were still there, motionless, like shadows in the deep, but the structure beneath them glowed bright, pulsing with color. Alien symbols danced across its surface. A gate had opened. Emily whispered. "It's like it was asleep. But now it's single quotes S. alive." Ares placed a hand on the console. "Because I called to it." Inside the alien vessel, everything had changed. Walls once dark now shimmered with light. Pathways moved. Doors opened as they approached. "This ship isn't just a home," Halle said. "It's a weapon, isn't it?" Ares hesitated. "It can defend, but only with a bonded pilot. One who understands both emotion and logic. One who feels." Emily looked at her. "You," Ares nodded. "I was trained as a child. I was supposed to take command when we reached safety. But we never did." They entered the central chamber. A tall chair stood in the middle of the room, surrounded by floating lights and cables. It looked ancient, yet alive. Ares stepped toward it, but stumbled, her strength fading again. Emily caught her. "You're not ready." Ares shook her head. "It doesn't matter. If I don't connect now, the Hollow will strike. And Earth can't stop them." Suddenly, the ship's lights dimmed, and a hologram appeared above them, showing the Hollow. "Fleet. Not 3 ships. Not 10. Hundreds. And they were moving. Dr. Hahn's voice came through the comms. "The Hollow ships just started rising. We're detecting power surges." Halle turned to Ares. "We're out of time." Ares placed her hand on the control panel. Her body shimmered, glowing brighter than before. The chair responded, its lights wrapping around her like vines. She gasped as energy poured into her mind. Then the ship spoke, not in words, but in images. Stars collapsing, cities burning, worlds screaming, and then Earth. Ari screamed and fell back. Emily rushed to her side. They've already marked Earth. Aris whispered, it's not a test, it's a harvest. Emily stood up, fire in her voice. Then help us stop them. Aris looked up at her, eyes filled with something rare fear. I cannot stop them alone. She looked toward Emily. But you felt the ship too, didn't you, when we were inside it? Emily nodded slowly. Aris took her hand. Then the bridge. Human heart. Alien mind. We do this together. Halle stepped back as the chair split into two sections, one for Aris, one for Emily. Both sat down. Lights surged. The ship shook. Symbols glowed around them, translating, shifting, adapting to human thought. Outside, the hollow fleet turned toward the surface. But so did the alien vessel. It began to rise, its ancient engines awakening, burning blue. The world had no warning. No explosion, no missile, no alien broadcast from the sky. Just one strange ripple across the oceans, a silent wave of energy. It raced across the planet in under 6 minutes. Satellites blinked out, deep-sea sensors failed, and then humanity noticed. High above Earth, in the International Orbital Command Center, General Reyes watched as over 200 red dots lit up the defense grid. Unknown signatures incoming. No known propulsion, no radio contact, moving fast. She pressed her headset tighter. What do you mean they're rising from under the ocean? Her screen shifted to a live feed, 3 massive black ships floating just below the surface. Near the Mariana Trench, then a 4th shape appeared, glowing blue, smooth, rising like a living comet. It wasn't human, and it wasn't hostile. Yet deep beneath the sea, inside the ancient alien ship, Emily and Aris sat together in the dual control chair. Lights moved around them, scanning their minds, sinking thought to action. Emily could feel the ship's pulse like a heartbeat in her chest. It wasn't just a machine, it was alive. It listened. Aris reached out mentally. We're connected now. We fly as one. Outside, the glowing vessel began to rise, cutting through the dark ocean like a blade of light. On the Nautilus X, Commander Halle stood on the deck, watching in awe. The alien ship surfaced, slow and smooth, glowing symbols circling its hull. It made no sound, but the air around it vibrated like a silent thunderstorm. Suddenly, speakers crackled on every channel. Emily's voice came through, steady but urgent. This is Emily Carter, speaking from within the alien vessel. We are not under attack yet, but if we don't act now, Earth will be. All over the globe, her message spread. On screens in Moscow, Cairo, New Delhi, and New York, people watched as the alien ship hovered above the Pacific. Fear mixed with wonder. Military bases went on alert. Governments debated, argued, hesitated. But then, Aris spoke. Her voice was softer, more distant, but clear. We are not here to rule you. We came to escape something far worse. But now that it has found us, your world is in danger too. General Reyes leaned back in her chair. She's telling the truth. She opened a private line. Activate Project Lighthouse. A hidden network of deep space listening satellites powered on, pointing toward the stars. What they saw froze every world leader in place. A fleet was moving toward Earth. Not from Earth's oceans. From beyond Neptune. Back inside the alien ship. Emily saw it too. The ship shared visions with her far galaxies, ruined civilizations, entire planets drained of life. And the hollow, they didn't conquer. They erased. Emily turned to Aris. We need to fight them. But Earth's not ready. Aris closed her eyes. Your people are emotional, chaotic, but that chaos is powerful. Lights danced across the ship's controls. Earth's satellites, drones, and warships receive new blueprints, alien upgrades, coded transmissions, and defensive plans. Across Earth, engineers stared at their screens in disbelief. Is this real? One whispered. Another nodded. It's a gift. Meanwhile, deep inside the Mariana Trench, something began to wake. A second alien structure, one not built by Iris's people, opened like a scar in the ocean floor. Dozens of black, crab-like machines crawled out, rising through the water. Halle saw them on radar. We've got company, again. Emily felt the ship shift. We can handle it. She glanced at Ares. Ready? Ares gripped the armrest. Engage weapons. The ship pulsed. Energy built in the glowing core beneath them. Long, narrow panels slid open along its sides. Then light erupted. Blue-white beams shot down into the ocean, slicing through the hollow scouts like glass. One exploded. Another screamed, a sound not made for human ears, and melted into the sea. The rest pulled back on the surface. Human ships and submarines watched in awe. One captain whispered, "That wasn't a weapon. That was judgment." Ares slumped in her chair, weakened. The ship has power, but it's old. We can't fight a full fleet alone. Emily stared out at the ocean. No, she said. But we're not alone anymore. She activated the ship's global channel. This is Earth's warning. We have less than 5 days before the main fleet arrives. If you want to survive, if you want to protect your world, we have to stand together. This is our first contact, but it will not be our last. Asterisk. The sky had never looked so quiet. Above the Pacific Ocean, the alien ship floated in still air. Not flying, not falling, just waiting. Inside, Emily sat quietly beside Iris in the glowing control chamber. For the first time in hours, there was no alarm. No enemy signals. No countdown. Just breathing, and a choice. Iris was weak too. Much energy spent firing the ancient weapons. Her skin flickered dimly, her eyes heavy. You don't have to come, Emily whispered. You've done more than enough. But Iris shook her head. This ship listens to both of us, without me. It will fly, but it will never feel. Emily smiled softly. Then we go together. Across Earth, nations were moving. American, Russian, Chinese, Indian, and European fleets gathered across oceans and skies. Satellites were being refitted with alien code. Engineers used midnight blueprints sent from the ship guides written in both science and instinct. For the first time in human history, Earth was united. Not in war, in survival. General Reyes watched from her command center. A young officer turned toward her. They're powering up, ma'am, the alien ship. It's leaving the atmosphere. Reyes nodded. Let them go. Just make sure they're not going alone. Inside the ship, panels shifted and opened. Iris guided the systems with her mind. Emily gripped the console with steady hands. The ocean below began to swirl. Water lifted in spirals. Clouds split apart above them. Then the ship rose. Faster than any plane. Smoother than any launch. There was no fire, no sound. Only light. In minutes, the Earth was below them, blue and distant. Emily stared out the window. We left everything behind. Iris looked down too. No, we're carrying everything with us. As they crossed low orbit, Earth's new defense grid blinked alive. 12 repurposed satellites aligned above the planet. Each now armed with alien tech. Each now glowing with blue sigils. Emily opened a channel. This is first contact. We are en route to intercept the incoming fleet. A voice came through General Reyes. Understood, you're not alone. We'll hold orbit, you take the front. But the moment they reached deep space, they saw it. A black wall. Stretching across. The stars. The hollow fleet. Hundreds of ships. Shapes twisted and unnatural. Moving without engines. gliding like shadows. Emily's voice caught in her throat. They're already here. Aris reached forward, activating the ship's scan. One word appeared across their screen. Judgment. The alien ship stopped, not because it had to, but because it was remembering. Lights flickered inside the walls. Memories of past battles, of lost friends, of burned stars. Aris whispered. They erased my home. I never saw it with my own eyes. Emily looked at her. You will again. But first, this is our sky now. She placed her hand on the interface. Ship responded instantly. Engines flared. Shields activated. And something new appeared, a series of circular drones around the ship, each humming softly. Earth's satellites were syncing, responding, learning. The old was becoming something. New. Human and alien fused. Suddenly, one hollow scout ship broke formation. It raced toward them. Fast. Silent. Emily shouted. Brace! But Ares didn't flinch. Let me try something different. She raised one hand and instead of firing sent a pulse, not a weapon. Signaled. The hollow ship stopped mid-flight. For the first time it turned slightly, as if confused. Emily stared. What did you do? Ares looked drained. I reached into its mind. What little of it is left. She paused. There's something still alive in them, trapped, screaming. Before they could speak further, dozens more hollow ships began moving. The battle was about to begin. Emily adjusted her seat. Her jaw tightened. We're not ready. Ares took her hand. No one ever is. And then on their radar Earths. Backup arrived, 15 human warships in orbit, crude, loud, unrefined. But behind them, hope. General Reyes's voice came through. This is Earth defense. We've got your back. Emily grinned. Let's make history. The ship locked weapons. Shields snapped into place. The hollow fleet responded, and the blackness of space began to burn with light. The first shot wasn't fired by a human. It came from a hollow ship cold, silent and fast. A needle of black energy ripped through space, aimed straight for Earth's new orbital grid. Before it could strike, a blue shield flared in the dark. Alien ship blocked it. Emily gritted her teeth. So it begins. Iroise didn't speak. She was already focused her mind inside the ship's neural core, guiding systems older than Earth's written history. The hollow fleet moved like a storm. Ships, not machines, predators. Each one a piece of something ancient and broken, and they were hungry. On Earth, the skies lit up. People around the world looked up from streets, rooftops, and deserts, watching lines of light flash like distant lightning. They didn't know the names of those fighting, but they felt it. Something out there was protecting them. In space, the battle exploded. Hollow ships swarmed forward. Earth's warships opened fire, bullets, missiles, even railguns, but they barely scratched the enemy. One human vessel was struck, spun out of orbit. Gone. Emily single quotes S voice rang out. We're losing them. They're not built for this. Arias spoke calmly, voice laced with pain. Then we adapt them. She sent a pulse from the ship, an alien signal, wrapped in human logic. Earth's ships began to glow. Emily watched the screens. What did you do? Gave them choices, Aris whispered. The Hollow don't allow that. The human fleet blinked once and changed, weapons retargeted. Shields reshaped. Each ship acted like it had a soul, and this time, they struck back. One Hollow cruiser was hit by a hybrid beam, alien energy. Human rage. It tore apart. Gone in seconds. The alien ship dove into the heart of the enemy. Emily piloted. Aris focused. They weaved through black fire and twisting claws. Inside the control room, red symbols appeared. Damage. Systems failing. Emily's voice shook. We can't take much more. Aris looked at her. There's one more thing the ship can do. Emily frowned. What is it? Aris paused. Become a star. The meaning hit her instantly. No. Ares, smiled faintly. A star burns so others can live. Emily grabbed her hand. There has to be another way. There is, you. Suddenly, a deep hollow ship, massive, pulsing. Ancient, rose from the dark, the source. Emily felt it like a scream in her bones. It wasn't just a leader. It was the first, the one that had erased Ares's people. It turned toward Earth. Ares stood. I can reach it. Only I can. But I have to go inside. Emily shook her head. If you go in, you won't come back. Ares smiled. Neither did your first astronauts. Before Emily could stop her, Ares walked into the core chamber. The ship responded, panels opening, lights shifting. She looked back one last time. Thank you for showing me what it means to fight for someone else. Then light exploded. A shockwave burst outward. The hollow fleet stopped. Frozen. Then they screamed. Hundreds of ships convulsed, twisting, crumbling, burning from the inside. Emily watched in awe. They weren't destroyed by force. They were freed. The voices inside them, the pieces of life that had been trapped, were finally released. Silence. All around them, silence. The hollow were gone. Emily sat alone in the cockpit. No signal. No voice. No AERIs. The chair beside her was cold. On Earth, cheers erupted. Around the world, people hugged strangers, danced in streets, fell to their knees in prayer. They had no idea what really happened, only that they were still alive. Back on Earth days later, Emily stood by the ocean. The ship had landed gently, then powered down. It would never fly again. She carried a piece of it now, an interface crystal, glowing faintly in her hand. Some said she was lying. Others called her a hero. She didn't care. She just missed her friend. That night, as she sat alone by the shore, the crystal blinked once. Then again, a voice echoed in her mind. Emily, I'm still here.